I am a costume designer, and technically, a costume designer is someone that creates the conceptual image or the conceptual idea for what the characters will be wearing, or what their hairstyles might look like, or all those sorts of things. But in our costume shop, I build wigs, I do makeup pieces, I will do the painting, I'll do dyeing, I'll do lots of other things that are kind of maybe a little bit outside that, because it informs the teaching. So I'll work with students and teach them how to do things. And I think them seeing me do that, it's not just making me look like a suitcase designer where I just kind of waltz in and waltz out. It kind of makes them realize it's a lot more hard work than maybe they might think it would normally be. But I love doing that. I mean, that's a part of my sculpting, as I look at it, and painting and all the things that I do is finishing is like the icing on the cake, and wigs and all those sorts of things. So it's just, the whole part and parcel. Especially because of my art background, it is the ultimate sculpture sort of situation. It's not just the drawing and the painting, it is getting in the psychology of the character, because you're reading a play and you're kind of thinking about what they're doing, what their decisions are. And then that all affects how they dress, how they look, like their makeup and the way their hair is worn, all of those sort of things. It's all about telling this story and creating this kind of living sculpture on stage. I've always kind of thought of actors as my kind of models, or they're sort of my sculpture. And puppets were just a secondary, or a natural follow-through, because they're the same. They're our actors. And so you can, do all sorts of things with them. So I just love the idea of creating environments, creating new characters, helping with that, helping tell a story. It's great. It's a great process too. It's a lot of fun. I came actually here and interviewed here for the costume design degree, and I came here as a grad student, and that's kind of how it all sort of started. I've always been in plays my whole life, and loved acting and loved being in, but it never really occurred to me, which is, with a lot of people, the connection. They actually could actually make a career out of it, and it is. I think it is a thing. I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. Well, costuming is, on the surface, it seems like it's not a lot of work, but to not ever think that it isn't a lot of work, because it is a lot of work, and you have to multitask. And if you work in film, let's say, for example, you have to be like a subcontractor. So they'll give you a big budget, and then you have to hire your crew, you have to hire everybody. So never suspect that it's like designing and putting together pretty clothes. It's not. It's not that, but it's a lot of that. But it's not just that. You have to wear a lot of hats. You have to wear a lot of hats. It's wonderful, and it's loads of fun, because every show is different. It's the same process a lot of times, but every show is different. So I think it's one of the best things you could do.